So it has finally arrived. The 2% salicylic acid solution from The Ordinary. Yes, the one that they've been reformulating for the last 2 years. So is it worth the wait? And how does it compare to other salicylic acid and BHA products? How do you apply it and how do you add it to your routine? We'll talk about all of that today. So let's look beyond the marketing and jump straight in. Okay, so first of all, you guys remember that salicylic acid, also known as BHA, is great for closed comedones. It cuts through oil to exfoliate deep in the pore, unclogging all the dead skin cells and dirt, so it's great if you're on the oilier side or if you tend to get breakouts here or there. The downside though is it can be more sensitizing than AHAs and other exfoliating acids. This formula is obviously 2% salicylic acid, so what makes up the other 98%? Well, if you look at the ingredient list, you'll notice that there are 2 ingredients before salicylic acid that you might not recognize: saccharide isomerate and cocamidopropyl dimethylamine. Saccharide isomerate is a goodie. It improves hydration and water retention in the outer layers of your skin. It's actually a carb complex derived from wheat, and it's similar to the natural moisturizing factors in the top layers of your skin. It's great at binding to our skin, so it can actually moisturize for longer. This is great because obviously salicylic acid can be drying. Cocamidopropyl dimethylamine, on the other hand, is normally a surfactant ingredient used to wash off dirt in cleansers. So why is it in this leave-on exfoliator? Well, let me remind you that while The Ordinary was reformulating this one, they actually came out with a waterless anhydrous version. That one was much easier to formulate because salicylic acid isn't water soluble. So this solution isn't as simple as mixing some powder into water and then adding a preservative. That's where cocamidopropyl dimethylamine comes in, because it makes salicylic acid water soluble and stable. There's actually a common combination of the two that goes by the name Salicylic 40. Not sure if I pronounced that right, by the way. Anyways, it's kind of a shortcut to make it easier to formulate with in a water-based solution. We can't be too spicy about that because did I mention this product is only $5.90? So the base formulation looks okay, but how does it apply? Like a lot of The Ordinary formulations, it does look a little bit gloopy. So it kind of reminds me of the hyaluronic acid serum. And as for the smell, so it is fragrance free, but I do have to say it kind of smells a bit slightly like fermented. Not my favorite smell, I have to say. Eau de fermented organic matter. Okay, so I'm obviously kind of joking there, and I want you guys to know that I'm just being super picky because it's very faint and it actually completely disappears when it dries down. Another thing you need to know is when you rub it in, you might get this kind of like white, soapy foam if you apply too much. So let me show you guys. Okay, it's quite runny, as you guys can see. So when I rub it in, it kind of has this like white, soapy texture. See that? So it does go away after it dries down. I mean, I did apply way too much. I don't recommend you guys apply that much. It is a little bit tacky at first, but it dries down really quickly and the soapiness completely disappears. It leaves my skin feeling pretty hydrated, but with like a velvet matte finish that I really like. And it doesn't sting my skin at all. I learned if you apply a much smaller amount, then you don't get this soapy issue. Like half a drop. If I spread it out, then you don't see any of the soapiness. It leaves my skin feeling hydrated without being oily. Not surprising since it is oil-free, but I did want to say that because on Deciem website, you'll see a lot of negative reviews for this. But those reviews about it being oily are actually for the anhydrous version, which is in a squalene oil base. So wrong one, guys. It is confusing, and it also means you can easily buy the wrong one, so definitely double check before you hit checkout. The trick with applying this right is to make sure you're applying only a tiny bit, so squeeze out a small amount. You don't need to squeeze out the length of the dropper, but you know, that's one of the issues I do have with the packaging because I find it's way too easy to squeeze out too much, especially if you're not paying attention. I would use it as a spot treatment over a pimple here or there, or use a tiny drop over an area that tends to break out. Like for me, it's my forehead, temples, and nose area. If you're just using it as a spot treatment, you can apply it as often as once a day at night. If you're using it on a bigger area though, or if you have sensitive skin, you might want to dial it back and do 2 to 3 times a week instead. Listen to your skin. If it's sensitized, back off. Don't forget to patch test first and apply sunscreen in the morning. How do you mix it? Don't mix it with other exfoliating acids in the same routine, and don't mix it with retinoids or pure vitamin C. Basically, don't layer it with anything else that has the potential to irritate unless you know your skin can handle it or you've talked to your derm about it. As for other serums like the hyaluronic acid or the niacinamide serum, I'd recommend you use this as your exfoliator step before any of the hyaluronic acid or niacinamide serums. As for waiting before or after applying other products, this is not something the science is super established on. You can wait a minute for it to dry down, or if you're worried you're not getting the most benefit from them, then don't layer too many at a time. Just alternate morning or night or every other day. Who is this best for? Well, this is great if BHA isn't going to be the main active in your routine, so if you're looking for something to spot treat, it could work for all skin types, but especially if your skin is combo or oily. Plus, this is also only $5.90, making it one of the cheapest salicylic acid products available. So if you're looking for something really affordable, this is it. If you do have sensitive skin and you want to try this out, I'd say start slowly and patch test. There are milder salicylic acid cleansers if your skin is super sensitive and you're worried about that. Cleansers don't stay on your face for long, that's why they're way less sensitizing. Overall, this is a gentle, simple exfoliator that won't dry out your skin. I like to apply it on smaller areas because if I use too much, it has that soapy texture, which I don't really like. I still prefer the Paula's Choice BHA Liquid Exfoliant because I think it's a more elegant formulation, but that one does feel oilier, and I think this one is better if you don't really like that oily feeling, you're looking for something water-based, but also you really can't beat $5.90. I also think the Ordinary was really innovative in choosing ingredients that aren't as common in a leave-on exfoliator, which is pretty cool. So if you're looking for an affordable salicylic acid exfoliator, if you're just wanting to try it out, or if you want to have one on hand as an add-on to your routine, this is it. If you are looking for something that is water-based, you have oily skin or combo skin, then this could actually be a better fit for you than the Paula's Choice. I think it's a great simple exfoliator that costs the same as the Starbucks fancy drink or a boba tea. The drink you'll finish in a few minutes. This bottle, it's going to last you a while since you only need a very little bit at a time. But what do you guys think? Will you be buying it? Alright, that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you liked this video, and don't forget to give your girl a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more of my videos. See you next time!